And welcome to the 5-Star Dynasty Podcast Live, episode 112. Looking forward to next year. I am your host, Tomcat. This is my co-host, Uncle Piff. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, brother? It's been a minute on the Dynasty show. I'm glad to be back.
Yep, absolutely. We have not been able to manage to do both yet, but we are planning on hopefully getting a schedule where we can do both during the season. One episode of one each week. So,
Well,
how you doing, buddy? How's your Dynasty team doing? What was that? I'm sorry.
I'm doing my new job, so I got better hours, so I can stay up later. So
stay up later. We can get 2 episodes. Yeah, hell yeah.
Do something like that. But my Dynasty teams, they're doing all right. You know, I also cut down a lot. I'm down to like 18 money leagues from 40. So
only.
I've cut down a lot. I'm almost down to like almost one scroll on my phone on Sleeper. It's
yeah.
It's a liberating feeling.
Yeah, I'm cutting down on a lot of money leagues as well. You know, this kind of happens after a while, and it all depends on the situation. Sometimes people make it impossible for you to have fun because, you know, other stuff happens. But how did your championship go?
Oh, wow. I won 5, so a bunch of them went really, very well.
You're talking about 5 money. You're not talking about just 5 in general.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about money. Yeah,
because you won other ones. You probably don't even know the number of the free ones.
Yeah, I haven't even looked. I think I won a few because I stayed in them, so I did win a few.
Mm-hmm. Defend that belt.
CVL, I won that. I think.
The Cafe's Baller League.
Make
nobody even knows what that stands for.
No, make fantasy great again.
Yeah, dude, nobody even knows what that stands for, and it's just a picture of my friend with a face swap with a cat. So it's like a half cat, half person, like in the early stages of face swap, like years ago. And I just put it as the profile picture, named it CBL, and nobody questioned it. And this league's like 6 years old. Not one person has ever come to me and be like, "What is that picture? What does that mean?" Not one person. But sometimes I just do jokes for myself.
That's a good side story.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get this going. I get some more background music, too, so we're not choosing the same one. I do feel like...
I did the Miami Dolphins are rolling into the grave in TBD. Completed the perfect season. That was good.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
And then... what other one did I win? I won a bunch. It was nice. It was a nice year. I'm only waiting on, I think, payment from one more, and then I'll be good.
Yeah. Yep. I'm laughing because your trophy is the momentum is just swinging back and forth in the background.
Yeah,
perfectly.
This is like a pegboard behind me, so it kind of rocks a little bit.
No, it's the momentum of it being on the nail and going back and forth like this. It's just like perfectly the momentum staying, and it's just moving like it's a moving background. But yeah, it was a good season. Way too many injuries. It was a good season as far as I won a lot of championships, but I didn't win as many money leagues as I would have liked. I got a lot of seconds and thirds, which is dumb. And I did win our redraft league. So the one I did win, of course, is the one I get to like prance around on the air and be like, I won, because people tell you that they won a league. It's like, cool, you won a league. But if I won a league that we actually had people on the podcast and they're going to watch the episodes, you know, it's a little cooler to prance around. But I was very disappointed with the injuries this season. I was very disappointed. That's not their fault. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk for you.
I kind of did it to you. I thought you were done, but CMC killed a lot of just right off the bat. CMC, Breece Hall, all trash.
I've been seeing a lot of people I've been seeing a lot of people who took CMC, and then the 5th they took Kyle Pitts.
Oh, I traded Kyle Pitts for what ended up being like the 105 or something. Felt so terrible, but by record it was the 102. But after max points for, it was that's to prevent like tanking, like intentional tanking. It takes all the total of your whole team, what they would have scored.
Oh, I get it. The way I think I'm going to handle taking, I think the team is going to get the last non-playoff pick. If I notice they did it on purpose, I think they're going to get like the 106.
That's the thing. Is like if you just do it by max points for, there's no policing. You know what I'm saying? It's just
no. I get that.
Your team actually sucks. You know what I'm saying? You deserve the pick because no matter what, even it's like best ball. It's like
yeah, but if
it takes everybody on your team score.
But not
at the end of the season.
That's everybody. I thought that was only your lineup.
No, that's points for. If you go to details, there's max points for, which is your total points for your whole roster.
Oh, I thought that was the total points for your whole season.
There's
like what you played.
There's points for PF, but then if you open it up,
max points. It's different.
It's different. It's max points for.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to look into that. I didn't know that was a different stat.
Yeah, I mean it screws you though too if you like because say you didn't get to pay attention to that league per se so much, and you just like putting guys in that were what I mean, just switching lineups, not really looking and like figuring out what to do. And I ended up getting like the last like the
lights are flickering here. If I disappear, then I lost power, and I don't think it's going to happen, but it is snowing hard here.
No, it is. No.
I've never lost power like that, but you never know if some idiot runs into it. Oh, I feel bad saying idiot, but could be just being, but I take that back. You never know if somebody just randomly slides and hits a pole, because sometimes they're not an idiot, sometimes it's just an actual accident. I shouldn't have said that like that.
Yeah, it's whatever. Don't be so bad, hard on yourself. Don't be PC. Let's just go.
I'm not PC. I feel bad saying that because there could be somebody out there who was like, dude, I don't know what happened. I've just randomly got. Last year it happened to me where it was the first time I've ever had ice actually just take me and put me on the side of the road. I was only on the side like barely, but it's still one of those things where I never had to get towed off the road before, and the first time it ever happened to me. Now I'm actually aware of it. Before I just never slid, never had anything happen. Years and years and years and years. Last year happened. Now I'm so aware. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, but back to the
injuries. We're from the country now. To be fair,
injuries destroyed this fan. It's Tyreek Hill with his wrist,
injuries,
just playing terrible,
and having no Tua for a bunch of games too.
Yeah, like it just.
So he never even got into the sink.
Yeah, it killed the season, definitely. I mean, I like I said, it was still fruitful for me.
Shout out Cass for getting me from a flask.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I got a nice flannel for Christmas. Flannel jacket is nice.
Oh yeah, I love flannels. I'm a big flannel guy. I have like a bunch of different colors in my closet.
Black and white. It's nice.
Yeah, I have a bunch of different colors, bunch of different thicknesses. Some are just thinner ones, some are. But anyways, I think it's tragic how bad injuries were this season. We lost Brandon Ayuk. We lost so many guys.
Oh. Waddle for a long period of time.
And then even some of the guys who came back, they came back, but it was a return. It wasn't a return to performance. They came back, but they didn't actually give you what you want, which is almost worse. Because at least if you don't have a guy, it's like, shit, I don't have him. This sucks. And if you have him and you play him like Cooper Kupp toward the end of the season, and he's going over 3 and just goosing you, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm just not trusting Cooper Kupp anymore. What do you do for a dynasty when it comes to Cooper Kupp?
The Cooper Kupp,
you're just holding on to him and hoping for the best.
that was my next thing to talk about too. Like all these older guys that are just like Mike Evans can still do it. Like that's it. That's really all.
But hear me out.
From
hear me out.
People.
But don't sell them for peanuts or drop them, because you never know when there's going to be an Adam Thielen situation. Adam Thielen was toast for a season or two, and then he randomly came back, and now he's relevant because he's getting spammed. You just don't know. So be careful.
Right. I mean, yeah, but I mean, in Dynasty, I'm not really. I personally don't care if I let go of an old guy early for like a second.
But do you let go of him for nothing, or do you let go of him for purpose?
No, just a pick.
For me, it has to be a pick that matters. If it's a late pick, that doesn't matter. Like seconds and third, or I meant to say not seconds. Like late thirds, fourths, fifths, they don't matter to me at all.
Yeah, no, it would have to be a second. I mean, I don't even want. Some people are like, oh yeah, thirds, you could throw them in trades and da 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 da. I'm not even gonna waste my time, and I'm not gonna waste your time.
It would have to be a high second.
No, for me, it could be any second. I really like on an Adam Thielen.
I don't mean literally, because it's too early. Oh, actually, no, it's not. We're coming up on the. I regret. I digress.
Coming up fast.
We are coming up. We know what's an early pick and what's a late pick. Yeah, I guess. You know what it is? How about this? He's a guy I would consider trading if the pick I want is a pick or two away, or the pick on the clock, and I'm offering Cooper Kupp, and it's a second where I know I'm getting the guy I want. I don't want to blindly throw it, because if for some reason he comes back and he's at least flex worthy, and you pick a guy who's not even good in the end of the second round, then you'd be pissed. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, I've been hearing him involved in trade rumors also. So
exactly. What if he Thielens?
No, Kupp.
No, I'm saying what if he Thielens? Like he goes to a team, he gets a young quarterback, and they just spam him and spam him and spam him.
That could happen. I mean, I heard
hear me out.
Patriots might be in on him. I'm like, oh.
How I think the Patriots are in on him if they can't get T. Higgins. What do you think about? Actually, to be honest, I hate to say it, but the Patriots could afford both of them. What do you think about it not just being Kupp being washed or anything, and that maybe Puka and Stafford's connection is that real? That he
I think he just knows Puka's going to be open.
He's more athletic.
Yeah, Puka's like a younger Kupp. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, if I remember right, Kupp wasn't a high pick either. He was probably like a third or fourth round pick.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So, I mean, in Kupp's, I mean, he could. It depends on where he goes, like you said. But there's a lot of other people who would be.
What other spots do you think he could go?
Deebo Samuel could be out.
What's the spot Kupp could go, and you think he could be good?
The Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be good in San Francisco if they get rid of Deebo. Maybe trade for him get him on the cheap or something.
I don't think they can trade with him because he's a division rival.
Seattle, if they get rid of what's his name, DK, who's another one on the block supposedly.
Again, I don't think they would do it because it's division rival. Those guys really hate each other. All those division rivals that you just named. The Niners, Seahawks, and Rams all hate each other.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Maybe
it's okay.
Vegas.
Ugh,
Vegas
no,
would be a good spot.
Please no. Please no. Please no. I'll tell you where I would want him to go. The Bengals. Because Joe Burrow's number 2 eats.
Yeah, that could be a good spot.
And what Gesicki's doing this year could be Kupp, but plus, but better. Slot.
I mean, even
Jamar Chase on the outside. Kansas City.
Dallas,
hate to say it.
Dallas as a number.
Dallas, another good one. Dallas.
I mean, we're pretty positive that like Brandon Cooks is cooked. You know, now that was like another one of the vets I want to bring up. Brandon Cooks, like he had a couple of good games, but
he's going to be
bad.
You know what it is? I don't know why I just got blurry. I think he's one of those guys. Here, let me do this. I don't know why I got all blurry. He's one of those guys that I think sometimes he's going to have flash games, but he's not going to be consistent. So for fantasy, he's dead. But I think he's good for an actual football team. Like he can make those clutch plays where it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
you made those 3 catches we really needed. Yeah, you made those 3 third-down catches that we really needed. Thank you very much. You were important in those clutch moments. Some players, that's what they are now.
Yeah, like what? Samaj JP, Ryan. Did you end up catching that call of the Kansas City guy on the radio? When oh my god, bro! Like look it up when you get a chance. The Kansas City. I hope we could use that cut, dude. That'd be beautiful. If the Kansas City radio host, like the radio play-by-play guy, just had the worst rant, like when they won. The Chiefs win! The Chiefs win! He's like, you can disrespect the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can something else the Chiefs. But you gotta deal with the Chiefs. Oh my god, dude. It was like brutal.
I hate that. There's nothing worse than a sore winner.
Chiefs Nation's rocket has gone past Pluto. Oh, it was like the worst.
First of all, past Pluto. Hey, radio host, whoever you are, past Pluto would freeze them because it is too cold out there. So, okay. I hate to say it, but I'm cheering for the Eagles. I do not want a three-peat. I do not want to see Taylor Swift on the Super Bowl doing her like really bad dancing. I know she wouldn't dance at the Super Bowl. I just had to do that. She's.
He's the Chiefs are just so brutal. That's all. It's just bad. Such a hater, but still.
Listen, I wasn't a hater at the beginning until they started getting the calls. When they had Tyreek and they were just making bomb plays, you just had to deal with Patrick Mahomes just being the man. I was like, this is awesome. I actually like this. I'm a fan of this. I wasn't like a Chiefs fan, but I was a fan of him in fantasy and everything. Then, as soon as Tyreek Hill went away, like Kelsey had some good games, but for the most part, they rely on the refs so much, and he whines and cries and flops so much, and it's too much.
But he is still like one of the best quarterbacks.
No,
fantasy wise, dude, he's not like people who take him in startups and the super flex. Like, even I don't even want to take him in the first round anymore. You know,
anybody who wants to trade for him, just let me know. I'll trade him.
Yeah, for a friggin' your house. But yeah, no, I'm very excited for this year coming up because this year was very difficult. Let's say I didn't trade as much as I thought I would. You know, I just wasn't really got a lot of shit going on too, so I was kind of like not really with it all year.
No, the same happened to me, and it's funny because our earlier podcast both said that like, hey, we had some stuff happen. We're definitely going to be more into it this year. Then all of a sudden we both had stuff happen. We're like, all right, no, this is the year. We're Cowboys fans now. This is the year. Sorry, Cowboys fans. I had to give it a little dig at you. But there's a couple players that I'm really worried about. Obviously, you just said Debo a second ago. I'm worried about Diggs coming out back up. Now, if he can, I'm not saying he can't do it because he's a phenomenal athlete. If anybody's going to come back from the ACL and be good, it can be Stephon Diggs. But am I worried about it? Yes. What I'm really worried about is that he still has it, but that it takes him a year to get back to it because it usually takes a year for somebody to bounce back from the ACL. So even if he comes back next season, he might not be good until the season after that. And he might be old enough where a team doesn't want to give him a chance, but he actually does have it. So I don't know. That's my only concern.
I mean, well, Tyreek wants to get traded too. Like, remember, Tyreek said that he didn't, and then they had a meeting and he didn't want to get traded. I don't believe him. By the time the season rolls around, he'll be wanting to be traded again.
I think so too.
And then well, rocket chips up for Jalen Waddle until they bring someone in. Maybe Cup. Maybe they bring Cup in.
I don't know if that'll work because I think they're similar players. Like in the slot, not similar players as far as play.
Devo? Maybe.
Devo, maybe.
They got the rapport with, what's his name? McDaniel.
Oh, you know what would piss me off? It would never happen. If T. Higgins got franchise tagged and then traded to the Dolphins for Tyreek.
Oh.
Because I would be so mad that I didn't have more Joe Burrow if that happened. Because if he had Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill on the same team, it would be not even fair. I would hate it.
I feel like Debo would be a good fit in Miami, though. You know, talking Debo.
Yeah.
That would be good for him, I think. Especially if no Tyreek.
Yeah. I think so. We should look at I'm gonna get my phone out. We should get an impending free agents. Maybe talk about
I know it's not a very good crop. It's not a very good crop of free agents. There's only a few.
No, it's not. Well, it's not, but it's also small enough where it won't take too long to go through at the same time.
I mean, I really don't think Dallas is going to go for a running back either.
I think they're going to try. Okay, this is what I think.
Okay.
I think that they think they're going to get John T in the second round, and they're not going to. And he's either going to go in the late first or early second, and they think they're going to get him in the mid second. And they're not.
Yeah, they're not. No, I don't think they're going to get him anyway. But they'd be stupid to draft him because they got Rico. Rico's cheap.
Yeah, but Rico isn't that good. So who?
He's pretty good. If
he's okay.
He's
okay. He's not Jonty.
No, of course not. But they're not going to. It's Genty, and they're not going to get him at all.
Genty. Okay, well, whatever, dude. Might not know how to say his name, but I believe in him. Like you.
I know he has a lot of carries, and he played at Boise State. I don't know.
I know. You know what they say about that, right?
Doug Martin.
Blue field.
Doug Martin.
Don't they have that like really cool blue field?
The muscle hamster.
The muscle hamster, Doug Martin. I remember him. All right, let's go by some of the positions that are important for fantasy, but we'll start at tight end first. All right. A couple of these guys, I'm just going to throw out their names because people have them in Dynasty. We might want to be looking for them because as they get cut from their team or as people realize when they log back on after the Super Bowl and season 2 starts, we're going to notice as we go through people's rosters and leagues and whatnot that people are going to drop people they see as free agents. Remember how many people dropped Gesicki. Remember how many people dropped et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to say other positions yet. But there's people who are free agents and you're going to notice they drop them and you might want to grab them just in case. You might have just end of the roster, end of the bench. You don't really have, you might have those like wide receiver 5s and 6s that you don't really need. And you're just like, hey, here's a couple tight ends that might hit the waiver wire. And you never know if they get a Joe Burrow for the season. Even if you couldn't use him every week, Mike Gesicki was useful in a lot of weeks. Like he won weeks, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Mike Gesicki is the first one. I would like to see him just sign back with the Bengals. I think that would be the best for him. I have no other team I could think of that he could go to and make a difference. I really just think he needs to sign with the Bengals where Joe Burrow already has chemistry with him.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree with that. I don't even have any argument at all.
Yeah, if that doesn't happen, I think you should be very worried about his worth in Dynasty. Yeah, not that it'll be worth, Austin Hooper.
Yeah, that's nothing to me. I mean, he had nothing. I see the Pats re-signing him because he had like a decent season. But
yep. Juwan Johnson, another guy. Keep being hopeful for him. He hasn't been working out. He has flashes here or there. The only way I see him having any relevance is if he re-signs with New Orleans.
I mean, I could see him going somewhere else, being a backup for another tight end, like maybe
the Chargers,
San Francisco Chargers, maybe.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking I had a team too?
You know what? You're right. Juwan Johnson's the kind of guy I could see having 3 good games the weeks that Kittle's out.
Yeah, the Colts maybe.
Yeah, because they lost Mo Alley Cox. Gigantor.
Yeah, and he's old too. I mean, and the other guys they have, they're just Grant.
Juwan's 28.
That other guy,
Zach Ertz is out there.
Zach Ertz, yeah, he's probably going to end up going back to Washington, I would imagine.
I think he is, but I hope he doesn't. What's up, Pete? I'm really hoping he doesn't, but at the same time, there's a really good chance that he does just sign with them again. I hope he doesn't for the sake that the Senator turns into like Trey McBride, where he actually gets a bunch of targets. That'd be cool. Other than that,
you think he couldn't beat out Zach Ertz with one good leg?
Trey McBride couldn't either. It's because it's Kyle Kingsbury and he loves Zach Ertz. It's just a thing. I don't understand it. We don't understand it. We saw how good. Listen, if Trey McBride didn't exist, then I would say, well, look at Trey McBride. He was a failed best tight end in his class. And even though this is a really light tight end class, a lot of people had Ben Sinnott as their number 2. I know he was never number 1 because of Bowers, but he was the number 2 for a while, and he's still people's number 3 or 4. But I don't know. I don't think it's a very good free agency for tight ends, and even for the backups, I thought there'd be more than this.
Yeah, no, it's rough out there. It's not a good class.
It's like Hayden Hurst, yeah.
Not a good free agent.
The best ones, sadly, are like Gesicki, Ertz, Juwan Johnson. Yeah. So we'll just move right along. Do you want to go wide receiver or running back?
Let's go running back.
All right. Number 1 on this list is Aaron Jones. You think he just 1 years back to Minnesota?
I could see that happening. Yeah, I mean, I can't even.
I think so.
You where maybe end up in Vegas. I don't know.
Only thing I could see is Vikings, Vegas, Patriots if they're really done with Ramondre.
Well, he's still stuck there. They can't. Well, they can get rid of him. Whatever they have to trade.
Well, he's just so cheap. They can still use Ramondre and still have Aaron Jones.
No, I'm saying, yeah. Oh, they could still use Ramondre and Aaron Jones. Yeah, but they like Gibson. I don't know. We'll see what Vrabel
That's right.
does.
Gibson's still there. I didn't forget they had Gibson. I just didn't think about him. Rather, I should say. Well, I would say the Vikings or Raiders.
When they gave him more time, Gibson more time back there, he did well.
Yeah, no, you're right.
When Ramondre got fucking benched because he can't hold on to the goddamn football.
I mean, he just turned 30. He's 30.1, but he's not. He looked really good last year. Other than he got injured, but it just is what it is. Running backs get injured whether they're young or old. They get injured. That position just takes a lot. Shout out to the running backs,
And you've seen a lot of the older running backs, fade at the end of the season. Other than Saquon, he's not really that old.
Dude, James Conner was 1 game away from the full season.
Yeah, but even him, he's still kind of slowed down. I mean, he did good for fantasy, but stat wise, he slowed down. He scored touchdowns to save his days, but.
Ooh, I like it. It doesn't cut off our message anymore. It does the full message now. It used to cut off at a certain amount. I like this. I agree with this 100%. I'm just hoping that Ertz doesn't sign with Washington so that Ben Sinnott could get started in year 2 rather than year 3. But I do agree. He's just keep holding on to those tight ends. Anytime I grab a tight end, I know I'm holding on to him for a little bit.
I draft massive amounts of rookie tight ends that I think are good, have like a good profile, and then they just sit on my taxi for 2 years.
yeah. Tavion Sanders, rather. He had good,
flashes.
Good flashes
this year.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, nobody showed it eventually.
Yep. I just had to. I saw that comment and I had to post that. But yeah, Najee Harris. Najee Harris is a free agent.
Yeah.
I could see him going to a move that I don't agree with, but I could see happening is him going to a team that doesn't need a running back but likes him more than the one they have. For example, I think the Giants need to give Tyron Tracy another year to see if they might have found a gem. There's a chance they're going to grab another running back or pay for another running back or draft another running back that they don't need instead of using Tracy. So I'm hoping...
You did sign Singletary too, so I mean he's still.
Yeah, but he didn't work out.
A 1 year deal. Yeah, but it was more.
It's a 2 year deal, but they can cut him after 1. I think it's like one of those where I think they don't have to pay him the second year; they can just kind of cut him. I think it's pretty front loaded. Maybe not the whole thing, but yeah, Najee Harris. I could see him returning. I could see him returning to Pittsburgh. He played well enough, but they denied his 5th year, and it motivated him, and he did a really good job, and that could turn into him getting signed there because of it. Who knows? Now, that being said, I could totally see him going to another team.
Tennessee.
I really had to think about it. It'd be like, no, because they just spent the money on Pollard. I don't see them putting any money into running back right now with the Spears and Pollard. I think there's a good chance I could see them hit. I mean, if Dallas really actually wants to make waves, Dallas could grab Najee and think they're making waves like they always do, where they're like, we got this big announcement. And it's like a pretty good, but it's not as good as they really needed.
Yeah. I mean,
Raiders, like you said. Raiders need a running back.
They need a running back. Zamir White wasn't it. The hype on him was unreal. Oh my god. I got sucked right into that.
This is what I'm hoping for. I don't hope the Giants just draft somebody in like the 5th, 6th, or 7th round to just get some depth going. Especially because that's the round that they got Tracy in, is the later round, you know? So it's different. There's just Tracy. More talent overall.
Now, who else?
There's going to be more undrafted free agents. There's going to be more 5th round gems. There's going to be more 6th round, 7th round gems. It's going to start happening more and more the bigger NFL gets. The bigger talent gets, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see Najee going there. Trying to think of one more team before I move on that Najee could potentially go to. Oh, Minnesota if they don't take Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
If nobody wants Najee and they can just swoop in with a 1 year deal, 1 year prove it.
I just don't know if that's like the fit they want for a running back though. They kind of like go with like.
Remember the first season? Do you remember the first season when he got more targets though, and he actually he did well in like the screen game?
Yeah, like 60 catches that year or something like that.
Yeah, he needs something like that where he's going to get targets as well.
With Ben, you know. Ben was dumping it. Ben's last year, he was dumping it to him like every 2 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm having. It was there was no snow, and then now we're having a snowstorm, and I can hear people out on snowmobiles going past my house. They're taking full advantage of it immediately. So Jeff Wilson's no big deal. AJ Dillon's whatever. I'm not gonna talk about that. Nick Chubb. everybody's worried about that in Dynasty. Is he can just re-sign for cheap with the Browns?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
That's where he belongs. That's where he belongs. That's where I want.
That's where he belongs. I agree. I don't even want to say another team because I just want to will that to the universe that he gets re-signed with the Browns.
Me too. I'm not even going to say another team.
Javonte Williams. This is a make or break, desperate. Oh my God, this is people's people grabbed him in the first round in dynasties. People traded for him when he was had the year or two where he looked like he was on the trajectory. I mean, this is big. This is make or break where he gets signed.
Ooh, I think he would fit in perfect with the Raiders.
I was about to say, is this another where a division watches somebody misuse somebody for 3 or 4 years, and then they're like, all right, now it's my turn. Because look at the Eagles and Saquon. I'm not saying it's going to be like that, because it will not.
No. But, I mean, I could see them definitely signing him. And I feel like that would be his preferred destination, too.
Yeah. Vikings.
Yeah, they like speedy guys. They don't like those bangers like Najee.
Yeah, I think the best fit for him is the Raiders, Javonte. Yeah. But I do think there's other teams that he could potentially still be useful. I'm worried about him going to a team that has a loaded backfield and him only being good after an injury. If he's only good if so-and-so goes down, that's what I'm worried about. That'll suck.
What about Miami? Not in general, but they could be looking for a running back if Mostert doesn't come back.
See, that would suck if Mostert's still there, but I think Mostert might be toast finally. He might be toasted finally. But it's just right there. I'm surprised nobody said that.
I'm pretty toasted right now.
Toasted? No, I definitely am. So they have Devon A-Chan.
Jalen Wright.
Who did they just? What was that?
Jalen Wright, I think it was his name.
Yeah, Jalen Wright. That's what I was gonna say. I couldn't remember. You know what? Honestly, there's so many Jalen's and Jadens. I was in my head. I was making sure I didn't say the wrong one because already a couple times when Jaden Daniels was coming in, I was calling him Jalen Daniels in our earlier pods because there is a Jalen Daniels in college, and I was scouting too many players at once, and I'm gonna move on to Alexander Madison. Don't care. But people are holding on to him in Dynasty, so we should mention he needs to go to somewhere where he's just an injury away from being a 1 to 5 week start for you in Dynasty, where you have a 3 flex league and you're just hoping to scrape by.
Right, but when he did play, dude, he did good.
That's what I'm saying.
For the most part, I mean,
but then he loses the job to other people. But then when he does play, he's amazing. And then when the other person who took his job plays, they don't do as good. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, hey, we like this guy more than you, and in practice he's better than you. But at the end of the games, he does worse than you. It doesn't make any sense. It's how it is, though. It really is. Yeah. So, you know what? He has only 26.6. Let's see. I could see him going to... Maybe he's going to be like in a committee in the Bengals or a committee in
back to Minnesota.
Back to Minnesota. If they don't, maybe they try to sign Aaron Jones and he wants too much money, and they just say, "Hey, Madison, come back."
I like, yeah. Plus he's familiar, you know. So
yeah. Other than that, J.K. Dobbins. I hope he signs with the Chargers.
I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna go that route again.
Gus sucks. No, yeah, but JK had some pop. It'll be another year off injury.
He got hurt again.
I know. He's only 26.6 though. He's only 26.1. He just turned 26.
2 major injuries. 3 major injuries.
It doesn't. Yeah, but dude. Yeah, but no. This is the thing. People were out of the second one, and then came back and did what he did. I gotta see it. I'm sorry, I can't ever give up on him because you're never gonna get anything for him. So you might as well have him ride your IR until he comes back.
Wow.
You can be out all you want, but you're not going to drop him.
No, but I could see him signing with the Patriots.
I could see him signing with Patriots, Bengals, Chargers, Raiders, because of the same thing, the rivalry thing. I think he had good games against the Raiders, and they saw it in person. That's about it. That's about all I can think of.
I could see him. I really see him re-signing though.
Me too. I could see him just re-signing for cheaper than he would have wanted, just because he doesn't want to not make it in the NFL. Or maybe he signs a heavily incentive deal.
Or depends if it's because it happened late in the season too. I mean, maybe
he has to take a full year off, and then
it takes a little longer to rehab. Yeah,
I hope not. Samaje P. I guess we're just going through. Oh, Rico Dowdle is a free agent.
I'm seriously looking to re-sign him.
No, I know they are, but I just didn't know if you knew that. Kareem Hunt, and you know what, dude? I'm going to say it. Kareem Hunt is better than Isaiah Pacheco, even at this stage of his career. I know he was coming back from the broken leg and everything, but, dude, he's straight up better than him, and it's really funny because it makes me realize that if Kareem Hunt stayed on the Chiefs his entire career, he would have had a really good career. He would have had a really good career.
You are so wrong on that. Kareem Hunt looks slow, and
I'm not trolling you.
Isaiah Pacheco coming off a broken leg. I don't think he's even going to come back. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to come
Dude,
play.
you're so easy. I didn't want you to get all worked up.
Oh, what the fuck is this kid talking about?
Oh, God.
Like, I'm about to throw this freaking computer across the screen. And then
it's bad because unfortunately I was trolling you for the comedy, and then we lost 2 viewers for a minute, but I think one's back. But no, I'm just kidding. Obviously. I'm trolling. Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely trolling. Sometimes I want to get a reaction out of you, and I'm gonna keep completely deadpan.
It's very easy to do that.
No.
Not very difficult to do that.
I did mean what I said when I said I think if he stayed on the Chiefs his entire career from when he was younger on, he would have had a fairly impressive career. I don't know if he would have been like, Hall of Fame worthy or anything, but he would have had we would have thought, remembered him fondly in fantasy for years and years. Because he had a couple years in fantasy with the Chiefs.
There would never have been a Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick.
I'll always remember that every single Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick, I missed somebody good, and 99% of them it was Jonathan Taylor.
I'm glad I like Taylor more, but I did take CEH and a bunch of
same.
leagues.
No, same. I still have a ton of Taylor because I was a Taylor guy, but the amount of times that I tried to differentiate and be different and
that's
other
when
stuff that's the same exact what I just said.
When that happened to me, I had to refocus how I look at landing spot. I had to be like, all right, landing spot counts, but not nearly as much as
actual talent.
Yeah, because actual talent, if you asked before the draft, he was probably not even in the top 5, maybe 6.
I thought he was 6 or 7. Yeah, no.
And then he got bumped way up there because he went to the Chiefs, and then people were taking.
And because Mahomes,
Mahomes
requested him specifically.
Yeah, bad news.
I think there's only one team he could have been good on. And they already had a running back. He had to be used the same way that he was used in college as a receiving back, and Joe Burrow was the one who did it. And
they had Mixon, right? So
that's what I'm saying. They already had Mixon, so they didn't need him. But I do think sometimes it just matters where you look at. Man, imagine being was it Terrace Marshall?
Oh yeah. Talk about
you're the third guy. You got all 3 of you had great stats in college. You were both 3 prolific wide receivers, and 2 of them are now the most high paid and best wide receiver. No, Chase is about to be high paid. Jefferson already is, and you're the third guy, and you just happen to go to the Panthers and have a shitty load up, nobody will ever know if you're actually good or not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had other teams since then, and it just didn't work out. But it's like the beginning of his career when he was learning and needed to develop and needed to shine. He just didn't. In college, he was good. So.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Keyshawn Booty, whatever his last name is.
We're not wide receivers.
He's gonna be something.
We're not wide receivers.
He's gonna be something.
You can't wait 5 more minutes. We're almost out. This is like we were baking a cake and it was about to come out and the timer was about to come out and you just walked up to the oven and you just took it out for no reason.
You were just talking about LSU.
I'm joking with you. I'm just joking with you. I'm sorry. I'm trolling you again tonight. I'm sorry. No, I do like Booty a lot. As you know, I have a lot of shares of him in all seriousness. I agree with that statement.
Okay. That's
I agree.
all. I had to get that out.
No, I just not something to do. I just not something to do. 2 more that I'll talk about, and then we'll move to well, unless you want to talk about Kenny Gainwell.
Dude, if he lands in the right spot, he could do some damage. I think
that's why I laughed.
That's probably one of the better running backs on the market, in my opinion.
One of the best spots he could land is CMC's backup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. He'd be used in the screen game. He'd be used as a runner. He's a good blocker. Because that reminds me, Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason are both free agents.
What's the Tank Bigsby status? He's still good for 1 more year?
No, I think he has 2 more years.
That
was only his second year last year. He's got 2 more years. And the new coach, you see what he said?
No.
Oh, the new coach.
Duval.
No, he goes. Duval. It's like so weird. So the new coach, first of all, he almost said something else, so we're going to read into this. The new coach said, we have skill players, we need to get them the ball. Brian Thomas Jr. needs to get 10 targets a game. Travis Etienne needs to get 5 to 20 carries a game. Literally said just like that. 5 to cut himself off, and then said 20 carries a game. Tank Bigsby needs to get 20 carries a game. I think he meant touches, not carries. But regardless, he claims that he wants each running back to have 40 touches, or 20 each, 40 total, and that he wants his main wide receiver to have at least 10 targets a game. The Brian Thomas Jr. stat, that's 100% doable. The amount of targets that Ingram gets, 100% Brian Thomas Jr. is going to get that, which makes me pumped because I was a huge Brian Thomas Jr. guy. And he's one of those guys that I was so big on with you. We were both big on him. But I'm saying, like, I was so big on him that even though I grabbed a ton, I wish I grabbed even more because I'm so, like, happy with how good he is.
Yeah. I mean, the rookie wide receiver class ended up being pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. And the the running back one sucked. If you grabbed the running backs, you were pissed. If you grabbed the running backs, you were pissed. And if you grabbed the wide receivers, you might have. There's people who grabbed Brian Thomas Jr. like second pick of the second round, in like, you know what I mean? And like in the first round, they got like Ladd McConkey. So they got like Ladd McConkey and Brian Thomas Jr. And like they scored in Dynasty. You just never know.
Well, I mean, I was in a 10-team league one year, and I had like the first like 4 picks in the second round. So Garrett Wilson would have been my first pick, you know, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. I made him the last of my picks.
Just to make it, but I've been on the turn in startups too, where I purposely grab a guy second so that it makes it look like he was drafted later. It'll be like the 5-6 turn or the 6-7 turn. I'll be like, oh, I got the guy in the 7th round. It's like I really got him in the 6th round, but I chose to get him in the 7th.
So yeah, I got him with like the 204 in a rookie draft. I was like, holy shit! But that was a good year for wide receivers too.
That was. Other than that, I only got a couple more I'd mention. Jordan Mason could be deadly somewhere. He might just re-sign with the Niners, but he could be actually good or just be that like guy you want on your bench for when somebody else goes down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't even really give you a team where he would end up.
Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, you could send any running back to the Raiders, really. If you
I know.
go there.
I'm going to keep saying it. And then the last one I'll mention, Jaylen Warren.
I think he's coming back to the Steelers.
Good chance he comes back to the Steelers and they try to make him more of a focal point.
He would be good in Dallas as well.
Yeah, I could see that. You know what? That's a really good fit because it'll be cheap enough. Oh, what?
Javonte Williams in Dallas.
I want Javonte Williams in Dallas. Let's will that into existence. Over Rico? Yeah.
Well, you said Rico's a free agent. Yeah, I'll take Javonte in that team.
Yeah.
But if Rico's a free agent, dude, he's got to be.
You know what's a sneaky one?
Yeah.
Jaylen Warren to the Vikings.
That'd be perfect, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because he runs hard for a small guy. Too.
They want a guy who runs hard but catches the ball too.
And he's good. I like Jaylen Warren. Good.
All right, let's pop over to. QB or wide receiver? You want to save wide receiver for last? Or you want to save QB for last?
Save QB for last.
Alrighty. Wide receiver is next. Stephon Diggs. He's 31.2 right now. But he looks great.
We see him re-signing in Houston.
I see him re-signing with Houston personally.
And I feel like that's probably the best spot for him.
Only spots I can imagine are that or the Niners if they get rid of Debo.
Well, you got there's going to be that'd be a good one too. But there's no Tank Dell either, so Tank Dell's going to be not playing next year.
True, but I think they're going to draft a wide receiver, and I think Xavier Hutchinson was coming on a little bit at the end, and I think they have a couple other guys that were coming on at the end, and I think after Nico coming on, I don't keep meaning to say keep coming on. Oh my God, my bad. I was totally on accident.
Coming on.
Okay, so no, I feel like they want to develop some guys as well because look what happened to Nico. Nobody believed in him, and now he's like high paid and doing well, like in the playoffs, even though they didn't win. He made clutch plays. So
that's what he does. He just makes plays. That's.
So yes, I do think they're gonna re-sign Diggs, but I also, did the Texans get a new OC?
Yes. I don't know who, but they did.
Then you know what? I would have to see which one they got in his style.
There is like a bunch of no-namers that got signed today as the offensive coordinator. Like seriously, like 3 of them today got named, and they were all people I'd never heard of in my entire life.
Let's see some of these names. I'm gonna try to get some of the lesser known, but maybe fantasy relevant as far as depth or what are we gonna do? Because like we don't only want to talk about the big guys. We want to talk about some of the guys that like you might be holding on to, and you're like, hey, am I supposed to drop this guy or not? Am I wasting a the people who thought they wasted a bench spot with Tutu Atwell dropped him, and every time somebody gets injured, Tutu Atwell steps up and has a good game. So it's like, do you want to hold on to him? It sucks. You only got to hold on to him for injuries. But when he does step up, you don't want the other guy to have him. So it's like almost like
the Nico Collins. If you had him, you had to hold on to him for 3 freaking years before he was even playing.
Listen, shout out to Hitman. I say this every time Nico Collins is brought up. He believed in him, but also didn't believe in him enough to keep him to this one point where he tried to trade me him in every single league, just trying to get some value back from him. I wish I bought Nico, dude, because Hitman at a reasonable price tried to buy him everywhere, and it was still the reasonable price was more than I wanted to pay. And I have quotes where I literally said, I don't think he's ever going to be anything. And then once he was something, I immediately DM'd Hitman and said, I was wrong. You were right. And I really wish I took you up on all those trade offers. Now you have a budget Nico wherever you didn't trade him, So shout out. Yeah, Treylon Burks. It's a good example. I was very anti-Burks. I thought that was the year. If he was drafted as a second or third round pick, he would have been given time to develop. It's because he was drafted in the pick that was given for AJ Brown specifically. That's why. It's not even the pick. If the pick was just the pick earned, I don't know if you agree with this. If the pick was just the pick earned, he would not be criticized as heavily. It's because he is the pick that was given for AJ Brown.
Well, I mean, yeah, so automatically he's going to be thought of as a bust regardless. But he also had a terrible coming into the league. Oh, yeah. Hi, Ryan Tannehill. Hi, Mason Rudolph. Oh, thank you.
Ryan Tannehill when he wasn't good. The last year when he wasn't good. Because the year before that he was good.
No, bro. He needs a good quarterback is what he needs. So if they let him go, I'll be glad to see him go somewhere with a good quarterback.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a different scenery. There's a couple players that are on we play a little bit deeper leagues than a lot of other people, but there's people we play all the time that people dropped and drafted and dropped, and we picked them up, and now they're on a good team, and it sucks. We got to see what happens with Burt.
Titans, they never produce any good wide receivers either. They had AJ Brown, and they couldn't keep him happy, so he had to go.
Yeah, they didn't give him enough. He was one of the top wide receivers, barely getting any targets. And then once he got more targets, he's one of the best. Speaking of, Tutu Atwell is an actual free agent. He's only 25. I wonder where he's going to go. I wasn't going to bring him up, but I just happened to see his name when I was looking for other names.
I don't know. Anybody who needs a gadgety guy or a slot.
Niners. The rival thing.
Yeah. I like that. They could sign him. I'd see that too.
Let's see.
It's just the year that
the bigger names
disappears.
Oh, you know what's funny? Diami Brown finally starts making plays and he's free agent. So if he doesn't get signed, his career's over. So I hope Washington just re-signs him and says, hey, we had a little bit of chemistry at the end. Let's try to get it going.
Yeah, that and also that was the what's his name too, the freaking new guy they just fired, Ram Carton, right? Yeah, that's why freaking what's his name quit. Oh well, he got fired too because he had butt heads with the new GM, Vrabel.
All right, so. DJ Chark's 28.3. He's a guy that I had so much hope for when he had that good year in Jacksonville, and then he just has not been able to do anything. And when he was with Trevor Lawrence, or not Trevor Lawrence, he was good with Trevor Lawrence. But when he got Justin Herbert, I really was like, oh man, is he going to be sneaky and randomly good again? And no, it wasn't. Well, if the Rams trade Cooper Kupp, I don't know. They better get somebody because they're losing Tutu Atwell and Demarcus Robinson. So
I could see Demarcus Robinson re-signing,
or they re-sign Robert Woods. He's a free agent.
No, please no.
Mike Williams is a free agent. DeAndre Hopkins is a free agent, but I could see him signing a cheap. If the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, I could see DeAndre Hopkins signing a cheap one-year deal with him because he just wants to chase rings.
Yeah, man, I could see D-Hop retiring if they win.
I could see that too, actually. Now that you say that, this might be if they win, he might go out. Deontay Johnson is the guy that everybody who has him in Dynasty is just holding their breath, hoping that he's not done. Just hoping that after this random shuffle that there's a team that's going to give him one more chance. He can have a whole off season to just get it right. Maybe this scares him enough where he acts right. Whatever the deal is. This is make or break for Deontay Johnson owners.
Yeah, what? He got cut from like 3 teams. Well, he got traded,
then
he got cut, then he got cut again.
You're wrong. He got traded twice and cut once.
Oh, that's pathetic, dude. Like, how bad can you be?
No, traded twice and cut twice.
Bullshit.
Amari Cooper. I really expected him to do something when he got traded to Buffalo. Didn't you? I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be awesome for Josh Allen. Then he didn't do anything. So I think he might just be done. He is a free agent, though, and there might be teams that'll give him a shot. I'm never drafting him again. I'm never trading for him again. But I'm not going to pretend that I don't have leagues that I haven't been holding on to him for 7 years or whatever it is, that I've just been riding with him since he was a friggin' Raider at this point. I don't advise dropping him or selling him for dirt cheap. But, man, you just got to hold your breath and hope it's not over. Maybe him and Allen just didn't work out.
I mean, yeah, well, off topic, okay, because he's not a free agent. But how do you feel? Because I didn't get to speak about him because we were busy. But Godwin coming back off injury. How do you feel about that?
You're wrong. The next name I was going to add is Chris Godwin. He's an undrafted free agent.
Oh,
funny you would say that, brother. No, I'm serious. He was the next name. I was purposely setting that up. I could not be more perfect. That's great. Yeah, no, he's an undrafted free agent. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
No, that's
28.9 right now. He's about to turn 29.
So, I mean, I honestly think he goes back to Tampa, but
I think he goes back to Tampa. Now, if he doesn't, I have a wish list. And it's if T doesn't go to the Bengals, I would love Chris Godwin to be the slot guy while Jamar Chase is on the outside. Because I have, for Burrow, that would be awesome.
I'm Homer in this one. I want him in the Pats uniform if he's available.
Can you imagine if you guys got like T. Higgins and Godwin?
That'd be awesome.
Because T would be on the outside and then Godwin can go on the outside and the slot. Well, actually, T can go in the slot too, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But that would also ether my booty love.
Yeah, no, that would definitely. It would, but it would be way better for your team. Being hopeful for a young wide receiver is all cool and everything, but signing 2 guys that are like proven would be way better.
You know what's messed up though is how bad Jalen Polk was.
Yeah, I mean Baker was a toss-up. Like we were expecting things from him, but he could still be a thing. Polk was just drafted way too high to not have performed or shown any flashes.
I can't believe that we traded the pick to the Chargers so they could take Ladd McConkey.
Yeah. You guys could have had Ladd McConkey.
That's the story of Patriots drafting wide receivers. Could have had this guy. Could have had that guy.
You could have had DK Metcalf and you took Nikhil Harry.
AJ Brown cried because we didn't draft him.
You could have taken Nick Chubb, but you took Sony Michel. It's true. No, that's.
I know it is. I've been listening to the draft.
To be fair, and they delete my comment every time I say this on the Ravens page. But the Ravens could have taken Lamar Jackson, but instead they took Hayden Hurst. So then they had to trade up to the Patriots pick to take Lamar Jackson. So as much as they want to brag that everybody passed on him but us, yeah, dude, but you did too. You fools drafted Hayden Hurst first and then realized, oh shit, we fucked up. And then you guys traded up for Patriots again. And every time I comment that on the Ravens page, they delete it. Every time, dude. I've commented like 7 or 8 times to the point where I just stopped because they just deleted every time. It's like you guys passed on him too for Hayden Hurst. And I'm pretty sure you know what I mean? Did you grab Mark Andrews like that same draft? But yeah. Chris Godwin, yeah, I would say Patriots could be good. I really think Bengals could be good, assuming that our main event free agent isn't going back there. And I don't think he will because
any free agent wide receiver could go with the Chargers too.
Did you see? Oh, I agree with you. We haven't mentioned that. Any of these guys, if they go to the Chargers, it's huge, and I don't think it hurts Ladd. I think it helps Ladd because it just takes a little bit of attention off him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. T. Higgins to the Chargers. Oh, that would be great. Even Amari Cooper to the Chargers if you're going to talk about second chances, because then he doesn't have to be the number one. He can just be on the outside. Ladd can go on the inside and get more targets, but at the same time, Amari can still be the perimeter guy that he needs to be. Yeah. Same with the next guy I'm going to name, Keenan Allen. He could totally be good with the. There is a world where the Chargers got whatever they got off him. Keenan Allen doesn't get any contracts anywhere, and he just wants to keep playing football, and he takes a cheap contract to go back home.
That could happen. I can see that happening.
Plays a year or two with the Chargers, and then retires to the Charger.
I really don't think the Bears bring him back either. So
I don't see why they would. In my opinion, you draft another wide receiver in like the mid to late rounds, and you take a dart throw at a guy, or you draft or you sign Hollywood Brown for cheap, depending on how cheap he's going to go. We didn't mention him. I just forgot. I forgot I missed his name. You sign even. Where was he? Like the 2-2 or something. You know what I mean? Like, I just think, yeah, you're right. You know what? It all depends on what Keenan wants to go for. If Keenan's like, hey, pay me $2 million a year, then they're going to be like, okay. They're going to say yeah immediately. If Keenan's like, hey, I want to get paid $8 million a year, they're going to be like, I don't know if you're really worth $8 million a year anymore, dude.
But I mean, what is there? There's a veteran minimum, right? What is it, like $3 million or something?
Oh yeah, Fred's $3 million now. Yeah. So maybe $3 million. You know what I mean? Like, if he'll take $3 million, they might say yes because it's such a small amount. As compared to cap space, not compared to real money, obviously. After that, it's our main event. It's T. Higgins. It's Chargers. Obviously Bengals because it's where he already is. Chargers. You want the Patriots? For me, it's Chargers. It's not the Chiefs. It's any team but the Chiefs. I'd be really pissed. I'd be really pissed if next year they get he'll have a little bit of a suspension, but then Rashee Rice will come back. They'll have Xavier Worthy on another year. They'll have Kelsey still. And then if they also get T. Higgins, I will be so mad. The Bills.
New Orleans.
I would hate that because I don't think Derek Carr could support him. Not anymore.
Derek Carr is going to be the quarterback.
Who do you think is going to be quarterback?
Not Derek Carr. We get to that.
We did another episode. Yeah.
No, we still got to do the quarterback free agents.
Oh no, I know that. I'm just saying we like always, just like last year, we'll have a whole episode with our speculations of each position. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, I really would like T. Higgins to go to just any team that's not the Chiefs. And I don't want him to go to a team that he's going to suck.
I don't want him to go to the Chiefs either. I want my Xavier Worthy shares to go even more through the roof. Because Kelsey's probably going to retire after the season. I don't care what he says.
I don't think so. I think they're going to try to do 4 in a row. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep going until they can't anymore. I don't think he's going to retire on a win. I think I would see Kelsey retiring on a loss, like his brother did.
No, if they win 3 in a row, I'm saying he's done.
I bet you he's not. He's going to the wheels fall off.
The wheels are off. Have you not seen the guy run?
No, the wheels aren't off. Chargers are my main one. My main.
I think that's where he's gonna go, and I'm thinking like maybe somewhere that's tax free, and like Tampa if Godwin doesn't get signed.
Tampa. I hope he doesn't go to the Titans just for the taxes, but they just paid Calvin Ridley. Yeah, if you think about it like that, I'm trying to think places that don't have taxes. Yeah.
Because that's a big factor for these guys,
I know.
That's why it sucks being up there, because Massachusetts, they have a millionaire's tax. Forget about it. Nobody wants to pay that extra tax.
That's crazy. Yeah, move on to quarterbacks. I can't think of any other major teams that I like more than the Chargers. There's obviously a lot of fits he could have, but there's not any that I really emphasize how much I like the Chargers.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be like a really good spot for T myself. I've been pegging that is where he's gonna go the whole time.
I do agree with your statement. I do agree with your statement that anywhere or any of those wide receivers that we named, if the Chargers grab them, they're probably going to be good. Because Justin Herbert's good.
They'll definitely have some value.
People were way too overdramatic about how much Justin Herbert was going to throw.
Oh, you mean how much he wasn't going to throw?
Yeah, like the amount.
Yeah,
they were saying.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I knew that the whole time. It's the NFL. You can't just run the ball a million times a game.
No. Yep. So for free agents, for quarterback, I'm going to go down to the lower ones first, get those right out of the way.
Signing bonuses, not their checks.
Yep. Tyler Huntley, don't care. Yeah, he had 1 year where he flashed when Lamar wasn't there. He made me think he was something, and then he just has not been anything since. Russell Wilson. Do you think he signs back with the Steelers, or do you think they go with Fields?
I feel
or do you
like
think they bide their time and see if they can get a rookie first?
Well, that's the other thing I was thinking. Like, if the Raiders don't get a quarterback that they want, I could see him going there to Vegas.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see him going to a team that he considers himself better, but he's probably not. Then the actual quarterback, and he thinks he can win the job, a la Tannehill, moving over to Mariota's team, hoping he could beat him out. Maybe he's going to go to I'm trying to think of one with not a very good. You said the Raiders already. Maybe he goes to Seattle and he the home and tries to beat Geno out. Who knows?
I don't know. I think
that was more for the fantasy than the actuality. That won't happen.
New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah.
They're going to be in the market for a quarterback.
I think New Orleans is a good one.
That team's about to go through a major overhaul.
Especially when they don't even know if Olave is coming back after those concussions. He should be good by next season, hopefully. But I haven't heard any word or news at all. Cooper Rush is a free agent, and I would assume he's not going back to Dallas no matter what after Dallas screwed him over all that money. Playing Trey Lance in that last game for no reason other than to screw him over.
Yeah, it's... Fuck Jerry.
Jerry Jones is one of the worst humans alive.
I mean...
That was a gross overstatement and hyperbole. That's obviously not true.
The Browns?
Yeah. I can see that. You know what's really going to get interesting with the Browns if they can really get out of this Deshaun Watson contract because of that TikTok video.
I don't think they're going to be able to. They already paid him most of it anyway. So
they already paid him most of it, but they still can get out of enough where they don't have to play him anymore. Like right now, they're kind of forced to play him because of how much they're paying him.
But they can't play him because he just tore his fucking Achilles again. So
no, I know that.
Next season. That's what I'm saying. They'll probably the Browns are in the market for a quarterback, no matter who it is.
And they need somebody who's willing to play for like almost nothing.
Peanuts. Yeah, and I feel like Cooper Rush would fit that mold.
I read they're really mad that they let Flacco walk.
Fuck. That guy sucks.
No, just because of how cheap he was.
I mean, like, because DTR ain't it. They know that. He's probably cuttable for sure.
There'll be guys like Cooper Rush, Mason Rudolph, all those Jimmy Garoppolo, all those Carson Wentz. Mac Jones is a guy who, if he gets the right fit, could, after the way he looked on the Jaguars, who knows if he could have a resurgence or even not a crazy career, but like he could have like a Ryan Tannehill resurgence where randomly he's good for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Oh, now just on because we're talking quarterbacks, just out of the blue. How do you feel about Penix? Do you think he's going to be something, or do you think he's just going to be like to live up to the hype, or is he just going to be a piece of crap?
From what I saw, he could be something.
Okay.
I'm not going to do the judgment on him yet, but from what I saw and from the games he helped me win by loading up Drake London the way he's supposed to. Like, yes, Kyle Pitts didn't do shit, but you know what? I don't have a lot of Kyle Pitts anymore. I grabbed him when I grabbed him, and then I stopped grabbing him. Drake London's someone I actually did invest in when they got Kirk Cousins. And then when Kirk Cousins didn't work out, I was like panicking. And then Michael Penix came in and helped me win a championship and won. So it's just like, I can't be, I got to be faithful right now. But I'm not totally in. That's what I'd say. What about you?
I feel like with another off season, he'll be better next year because they didn't show too much with him, and then he'd probably be able to look off more than just spam in London all the time.
They might sign somebody or draft somebody as well.
I mean, yeah, but
London's still on a rookie contract. Their quarterback's on a rookie contract. They just paid Kirk Cousins all that money, but they're probably going to cut him at this point.
Yeah, that's another guy who ends up.
That's my point. I was going to say, really quick. For my confidence of Penix to be up, he has to have the job right away. If the season starts with him and Kirk Cousins are going to have a QB battle, then I'm not as confident on him. Because there's a chance Kirk Cousins beats him in the camp battle, but then in actual games does exactly what he just did last year. And that's my fear.
Right, but that's like they already said there are already rumors of him being released or traded. I'm sure there's already talks about that going on now. About where
if they weren't in the same division, as the Saints, I could see Kirk going to the Saints. We're almost there. Mac Jones, I could see going to the Titans.
That probably
the Titans
spot for him.
The Titans saw what he did on the rivals team, filling in. Sometimes it just works out like that. We've mentioned it 4 times in this show, and 100 times throughout the podcast history that rivals see their people, the other teams way more often than everybody else. They see that player sometimes 8 times if you're playing for 4 years, and you see more. And a lot of times, you just see that experience more. That you want that person. Look at the Vikings and Aaron Jones. You get Aaron Jones for 4 years, and then you're just like, damn. Yeah. We're almost there. Jameis Winston. I just pray that he gets a team. I just need him to get a team. Maybe it's the Browns. Maybe that he's willing to.
Yeah, say that. Maybe the Browns. Maybe Pittsburgh.
Maybe Pittsburgh. I just hope he's the kind of guy that's like, I just want to play football, pay me $3 million, and make me your starter. I could imagine him being like, I already made a lot of money. I will be your core. If you guarantee me the starting job, give me the veteran minimum right now. Sign me a 2-year deal, 2 years, $6 million right now. But Mac Jones, really quick. I could see Mac Jones going there, and I could see Mac Jones getting signed to the Vikings while they wait to see what happens with J.J. McCarthy and his recovery.
It's
like an insurance. They're not a guaranteed starter. Like if he's assigned as a backup. Because if they don't pay one of the guys we're going to talk about, then he's going to go elsewhere, and they need somebody behind J.J. McCarthy because there's no guarantee he's going to be back in time to play. He probably will.
I think he will be. Seeing he got hurt in the preseason, so
he did. But there's a world where he comes back and he's not fully recovered. How fast they want to get him out there?
But even if, is that even? Oh, hi, bud. I thought I heard you coming in. Yeah.
I hope Mac Jones goes to the Titans.
That feels like a good spot for him.
Yeah. There's only a couple more, and then we'll get out of here.
But hold on. But if it is the Titans, you don't think the Titans are going to take Cam Ward or Shador number one?
When we say that, I'm talking the hypothetical world that they didn't take those guys. If they traded back. So I don't know if you've seen their reports, but the Titans have already said if they can get a haul, they would rather take a haul than one player any day. They said if they can get multiple firsts for this first, they would rather do that. So if somebody in the early to mid first, and then they're like 2 firsts after that, they're gonna get that. You know what I mean? So if it comes down to that, then there's a world where they grab one of the guys you grab if they fall. But there's also a world where they just go for one of these other free agent cheap quarterbacks for a year, or even just take whoever's left of the quarterbacks because they're like, hey, we got the 1-on-1, we can get 3 firsts out of this. Let's squeeze as much juice out of this fruit as we can.
Well, that's what I mean. But here's the thing: is I've been seeing a lot of mock drafts. They said they want to take a generational player.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not many generational players in this draft.
Yeah.
There's maybe 1 or 2. And none of them play quarterback.
True. But if there's a generational player next year and you have multiple firsts to trade next year.
Oh, I know. But what I'm saying is I think they probably take Abdul
I'm playing devil's advocate.
or Travis Hunter. Okay, we'll say that. And then the Browns, they could be in the quarterback market or not. So they'll either go Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter or maybe that defensive tackle and Mason Graham. He's been up there a lot. So, I mean, ideally, I want as a Patriots fan, I want 2 quarterbacks to go in the top 3.
I get it. Here it is. I had to pull it up. So there's Titans execs, and it got leaked that a lot of people believe that, quote unquote, the Titans would be better off trading the pick, and that they're highly skeptical of the 2 quarterbacks, and that if they could get multiple firsts out of 1 pick, that it's better, and that they're not ruling out players like Travis Hunter. But at the same time, if they don't have a quarterback already, then why have the number 1 pick to take a wide receiver? There are other good, and then I'm ending the quote, but now there's other good wide receivers in the draft where if they trade back, they might still get one of those wide receivers with the other pick. And if they have a quarterback like Mac Jones, they might be able to piece together something. If they're really bad, they're going to have multiple firsts next year or the year after that too. And, I personally do not think that they should take either one of those quarterbacks 1-on-1. I think somebody is going to be foolish and pay up to draft one of those quarterbacks. And whether they're right or wrong, they're not worth multiple firsts.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. We
absolutely agree 100%.
Oh, yeah. Justin Fields, possibly to the Steelers, possibly to somewhere else as a backup to try to win a job somewhere. Titans.
Yeah, anywhere who wants a cheap quarterback. That's where I'm putting all these guys. Anybody who doesn't draft one in the draft,
Giants.
that's where all these guys are eligible to go.
Yeah. It would be really funny if you went to the Giants because the Bears got Justin Fields for trading up with the Giants. So it would just be really funny if he ended up going there.
But also, I could see the Giants drafting a quarterback, like Sanders or Cam Ward, whoever falls to them.
Have a good one, Pete. We're about to close up too. We have like two or three. We have like two more actually, and then we're done. Yeah, I could totally see a lot of different spots. Really quick honorable mentions. These guys are going to get jobs where if you're in a super flex, you need to have these guys on the end of your bench, even though they're not going to be sexy names. They're going to be old names, and they're going to be people you're going to be like, oh, I don't want these guys. But if they get play, they're going to get you at least fantasy points in super flex. Andy Dalton, if he goes to a team and he doesn't retire, whatever. If you're in a super flex, this is not for a single quarterback league. If you're in a super flex, you've already seen he went in for a little bit for Bryce Young. You should have him on a roster just in case because Superflex is Superflex. 2 QBs are 2 QBs. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go that deep into it. Mariota, Trey Lance, because we don't know who he's going to sign with. Zach Wilson. Brissett, Drew Lock. These are all guys that suck. You don't want them in 1 QB, but in a 2 QB especially, or a Superflex. Now, that being said, in a Superflex, I prefer to play a lot of running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends and tight end premium over some of the names I just named. But in a 2 QB, you don't have a choice. So you want to have some of these guys on there. So I just wanted to say that before I talked about the last name, which is going to be the obvious. Oh, and Joe Flacco. Sorry, I didn't say him too. And so Sam Darnold did really good on the accuracy of the Pro Bowl when there's nobody running at him. Where do you think he goes? Do you think he resigns? I mean, he's going to cost too much money for the Vikings to invest in him if they really are invested in McCarthy.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be up to dollars and cents, what they have to spend, what they can afford with bringing back some of those guys that they had. And, I don't think they're going to want to do a long-term deal. So I don't know what Sam wants. I would assume he wants stability. So I don't know if the Vikings are in the cards for him.
See, there's a team who wanted Darnold really bad, and they wanted him as a backup who could potentially win the job, and he thought he had opportunities other places, which he obviously ended up getting. Which he didn't know about the injury. It just ended up working out that way. But San Francisco really liked him. And there was reports that San Francisco wanted to sign him and that they really liked what they saw from him. So there's a world where he randomly signs, shocks everybody, and gets the contract instead of Purdy.
Hey, I don't know. I like Purdy.
I don't think that's going to happen. But I just had to mention that the Niners specifically liked him. Now, why is that important? Because if the Niners liked him and other teams find out the Niners like him, that ups the interest in him a little bit. I don't really see a lot of places he could go with the amount of money he wants to be paid. But Tennessee, again, is another one where...
I was just going to say, like, the Titans.
The Titans.
If they don't take a QB, then,
what's their cap space? I want to know. I'm going to look it up right now what Titans cap space is. Because if they can afford Darnold and they grab Darnold, trade that pick for a bunch, and then draft a wide receiver or a running back probably not a running back because they have Spears and Pollard. But if they draft a wide receiver and then they have Calvin Ridley, Burks, could potentially still do something, and then they have Sam Darnold. I don't know.
I mean, I think they could afford like a $35 million a year deal, like 40 maybe. That's what it's going to cost, you know.
All right.
He's probably going to want like a 3 or 4 year deal, I would assume.
Calvin Ridley is literally their highest paid. His cap hit's $28 million. Everybody else is 24, 23, 22, and then 14. It gets way lower after that. Total cap, $239 million. Let's see. Where's the sorry, I'm trying to find the actual available. $50
mil, so. And that's what. Do they still have Justin Simmons under contract? Is it Justin Simmons?
Justin Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons?
Jeffrey Simmons.
Yes.
All right, so he might be traded. I heard Vrabel wants to trade for him. Like, that's one of his targets.
And his cap hit's 22.8. So there's a good chance they trade him to save some cap space. There's a realistic world where, I mean, as much as I wanted it for my random shares of Mac Jones for when I picked him up off free agencies or drafted him, I really would like Sam Darnold to go to the Titans. The more I'm thinking about it, he'd have Calvin Ridley, he'd have Chig, and he'd have whatever wide receiver they want to draft after that. I don't think they would spend the 101 on Travis Hunter, but
here's the thing. We don't even know what he's coming out as. He hasn't said he's coming out as a wide receiver. So he could be coming out as a freaking corner for all we know.
He's not going to just be a corner because his stats aren't that good as a corner. Have you actually looked at him?
No, they are. He's elite on both. It's insane. The kid's insane.
He's pretty good, but you know what it is for me? It's that numbers in college for defensive players aren't even close to as good as numbers in
I know what you're
NFL.
saying, but like even Dion said he's a better corner than he is a wide receiver. And if you draft him, you should play him on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. I think he's going to get overdrafted. You know what's really cool, though? Can I ask you a question? What is going to happen? What happens in full franchise leagues where you have IDP and you have full offense and he's eligible for both? Do you just play him in one position and he gets points for both sides of the ball? Does that mean you could like fudge him in at DB, but he plays like a wide receiver? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how's that going to work in fantasy in those leagues where you have both?
He'd be the ultimate flex.
Mm-hmm. He really would be. Yeah, I think that's the best spot for Darnold other than the Vikings if they really just decide that they wasted a pick on McCarthy or they want to let McCarthy develop for 4 or 5 years.
That's a little crazy.
I'm just joking when I say that. No, but like the Jordan Love thing, where he like 2 or 3 years, where you just sit on the bench. Especially one of these years might be lost. This next year might be lost because he tore his ACL. Even if he comes back, he might not be 100%. Like, what's that?
Yeah, I still don't think it's going to be lost though, because he did it so early. You know what I mean?
No. I don't mean lost like he doesn't play. I meant lost as in like when a player comes back and they have a crappy season and then everybody judges them because they don't realize that they're working back from an ACL and there's always an off year. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I would.
He comes in and he's like,
you got to still consider it his rookie year, really.
I'm saying he comes in
rookie year.
But it would be bad if he comes in and he's like QB 31 or what if he's one of those guys who comes in and he's like QB 37 and there's only 32 teams. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that happens.
He's like Caleb Williams.
Yeah, right. But 1 second. Let me just... There's that sweet sound.
Right now, put me to sleep.
Well, we got a nice big episode today. We actually went an extra 30 minutes or so.
Well, we needed it. You know why? Because we haven't done this in a while.
We haven't. We've stayed away from Dynasty for a little while because we were so focused on the redraft, but next season we will be in full with both. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to get on X tomorrow. I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to start posting some stuff, start being active on there. I just commented on something today.
You know what we gotta do?
Every time I comment on something, I comment and then I go to the next line. I put -Tomcat. So you can probably just do the same. Put Piff or Uncle Piff or whatever you want to put, just so people can differentiate. Because we both have the login. I want people to know which one of us commented. I don't want to comment something and be like, "Did Piff say that?" No, Tomcat said it. It's good. But definitely like and comment, guys. We appreciate you. We have fun doing this. We can't do anything without you guys. As we grow, as we get bigger.
Comment, share, subscribe.
All that stuff, dude. All that stuff. And like, even if you... Some people, I feel like, if they don't catch it live, they feel bad and they don't end up watching it. It's like, no. Just because it says live doesn't mean you can't just pop on the episode when it's not live. It's still there. It's just in the live, over in the live category. We got Super Bowl coming up. And we're really hoping that the Chiefs don't win. That's all it is.
Go Eagles. Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. And I hate to say that. What did the mayor of Philly say? EGL or ELGL. Yeah, we said EL. Eagles. Yeah, dude.
The guy in the background starts laughing. It's funny.
It's so funny. It's so funny. I hate that I have to cheer for the Eagles, but I'm just not into this 3P thing. I'm not into when the Chiefs won a couple of Super Bowls, but Mahomes was playing amazing. I had no issue with it. I was like, okay, Travis Kelce's playing awesome. Tyreek Hill at the time is catching bombs. Like, it just is what it is. The second it got to the point where it's a one-score game, and every game it comes down to a referee call. Tennis. We're going to go over this in the next episode. I'm going to show a diagram. Tennis has an actual computer program and a chip in I think they have like a chip and all that stuff, where they can show exactly where the ball hits on the line. It's down to science. It's right there. And yet we're still dealing with guys who are 10 years from... I mean, a lot of these guys are past the point where they're getting their senior, discount, and we're trusting them to stand there like this and be like this
with their AARP cards.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm not trying to. I really hate to be like that, but at the same time, it's like it's getting ridiculous when I see a 57-year-old man squinting his eyes with his hands on his knees, and he's like, "That's who we're relying on to where this ball was spotted." It's. I mean, like we're still going out there with. I mean, even this year when they weren't supposed to do it anymore, there's still some games where they went out with chains and went and did it. We're going to measure this the old school way. What is going on? We're in 2025. You're telling me we have all these technologies, we have all this different progression, and you can't figure out something with the ball or something with the cameras or something where we can get better angles? No. They're purposely not doing it so that they can still fudge certain things. That's my opinion. Yeah. Sorry to put my typical hat on for this, but that's how I feel about that.
I can agree with that.
Well, till next time, guys. We will see you next week. You have a great night, and if it's snowing where you are, stay in, and if it's not, be happy it's not.
All right, have a good night.
Keep playing Dynasty, baby. Dynasty forever.